McDonald's is bringing back 2022. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And a little tricky travel this morning.
Yes, so it is slippery out there. There's icy spots and there's slush. Not really too much snow because we did see some freezing rain, some sleet come down, so that kind of got rid of the snow, but it's very slippery with that ice.
So be careful.
Yes, just be careful when driving this morning. And let's take a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. So we are seeing heavier snow bands north of the Mohawk Valley, but mainly the Mohawk Valley and south of the Mohawk Valley are seeing areas of sleet, freezing rain, and even just rain in general. But overall, roads are definitely snow covered up north, and in the Mohawk Valley and south, definitely some slippery spots with some ice and slush. So just be careful when driving this morning. At this point, we are looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow for the Mohawk Valley and south, and a little bit more up north. The thing is, though, we are going to dry out for right before noon. We will dry out for the rest of the day, but then lake effect snow does look to pick up this evening. So this is our snowfall map for tonight through all day tomorrow. It does look like we are going to be seeing lake effect snow, especially up north and a little bit in the Mohawk Valley, traced to 1 inch for the southern valleys, 1 to 3 inches for Utica, Rome area, and a little bit more up north. So that goes into effect tonight through most of the day tomorrow. So we are still tracking a wintry mix this morning with snow north, freezing rain south and in the Mohawk Valley. That looks to end before noon. Then we will be dry for the rest of the day with lake effect snow picking up tonight through most of the day tomorrow, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley. Still seeing some snowflakes, though, in the Mohawk Valley and south. This continues tomorrow into Friday before we dry out Friday and Saturday. So for the rest of the day, expect dry conditions once we dry out this morning, and then some lake effect snow. It does pick up later on this evening, and I will be talking a little bit more about this coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Let's get right to it now. We've got calls.
Welcome back. We are still seeing a wintry mix this morning that does look to come to an end right before noon, and then lake effect is going to pick up tonight, and that will last for tomorrow. So here is our lake effect snow potential. It does look like not a lot of accumulation for the Mohawk Valley and south, but definitely in the Tug Hill region and up in the North Country could be seeing some snow accumulation due to this lake effect that is coming in. So once again, definitely get your vehicle ready if you are heading out this morning or even for tomorrow, even Friday morning. Definitely try to get your snow tires on sometime soon. Have the ice scraper, the snow brush ready, and just be prepared to be driving in areas of slush and ice this morning, and maybe even some areas of snow for tomorrow. And speaking of the winter weather, we do have our winter weather outlook that is airing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on CBS Utica, and it also is going to air Sunday at noon on WKTV. Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Turning to the latest developments out of Poland.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are tracking still a wintry mix at this point that could cause for some slippery conditions on the roadways for the morning commute. So we will continue our alert day for this morning. Once again, slick spots for the commute. There is some areas of slush, possibly some ice as well, and even just some areas of some snow, because we are still seeing snow north and freezing rain to the south. So as you are heading out the door this morning, I would definitely grab the ice scraper or make sure you defrost your car's windshield. Definitely having a layer of snow on the windshield, maybe even a layer of ice on top of that, because it snowed first for all of us, and then we saw freezing rain, some sleet for the Mohawk Valley and south. Definitely the coat this morning. It is pretty chilly outside. Maybe your snow boots as well. I wore my snow boots in this morning, and maybe give yourself a little bit extra time to kind of get the car ready and get all of your stuff ready for the commute. So this is a live look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Once again, we are seeing some heavier snow bands up north. That is that darker blue color. The freezing rain and sleet is the pink and the purple color. That is in the Mohawk Valley and just south of the Mohawk Valley, and even areas further down south, even just seeing some rain this morning. But we all started out as snow and definitely saw some freezing rain and sleet after the snow, so there probably is some slushy spots on the roadways. At least when I was driving in, there was. So just be careful when driving. Once again, this is all due to this low pressure system that is bringing in heavier and wetter snow rather than seeing lake effect snow, which is fluffier. So it is causing some slush issues and just some slippery spots on the roads this morning, but we will dry out later on. I can't really see this right now, but it is going to be a lake effect warning that's going to go into effect at 7 p.m. this evening through 2 a.m. Friday morning. After this wraps up, which will wrap up right before noon, we will be seeing lake effect snow pick up, especially north for the Mohawk Valley starting this evening, and that looks to last for most of the day tomorrow. So here is our lake effect snow potential map. It does look like just north of the Mohawk Valley is going to be seeing the most amount of snow. 1 to 3 inches can be expected in Utica, Rome area, and a trace to an inch for the rest of the Mohawk Valley and the southern valleys. So we are still tracking some snow, some freezing rain, some sleet this morning. That looks to clear out right before noon. This is 10:30 or 10 a.m. We are seeing dry conditions, cloudy skies at this point. That looks to continue for most of the day. Then lake effect looks to pick up this evening. First starting out as some rain, then it does get cooler tonight, turning into some lake effect snow bands, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley. So this is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, seeing some snow bands at this point north of the Mohawk Valley. Moving into the Mohawk Valley and southern valleys just a little bit, but once again, that heavier snow does look to stay north. Heading into Friday, there is a small disturbance that happens, bringing in some more showers of snow. Friday morning, that's Friday at 4 a.m. That looks to taper off for the rest of the day Friday, possibly seeing a few lake effect showers on Friday throughout the day for north of the Mohawk Valley. So it is going to remain unsettled for tomorrow with lake effect. Same thing for Friday. We do look to dry out for the rest of the day Friday into Saturday. But today we will dry out before noon. Cloudy for the rest of the day. And tonight, lake effect looks to pick up for north of the Mohawk Valley, possibly seeing some light snow showers for the Mohawk Valley and south. So we do have this alert day continuing for this morning due to tricky travel, some slippery spots. Lake effect picks up tonight, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley. That continues for most of tomorrow, lingering a little bit into Friday morning, but we do look to dry out Friday for the rest of the day into Saturday, Gary.
And look at those temperatures overnight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, teens.
Teens, yes. We haven't seen it yet, but
Welcome, winter.
welcome winter.
Hannah, thanks. Still ahead on Sunrise. How
From where the news comes
I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Boy, that radar is lighting up this morning.
Yes, we are still seeing a wintry mix, some snow up north, some freezing rain, some sleet for the Mohawk Valley and south.
And most of the snow is up north, right?
Yes, so most of the snow at this point is up north. All of us saw snow to start, but sleet, freezing rain came in for the Mohawk Valley
A little
and south.
slushy coming up the hill this morning, but not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit icy, a little bit of slush, so there definitely is some slick spots as you were driving anywhere this morning. So let's take a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We can see most of the snow is staying up north at this point. Some areas still seeing some snow in the Mohawk Valley, but most of us are seeing sleet and freezing rain at this point. And even furthest areas down south are just seeing some regular rain. But overall, all of us started out with some widespread snow last night. With the sleet and freezing rain on top of this, there could be some slick spots to start out for the morning commute. We do warm up today, so everything should be fine by this afternoon. We are going to be seeing lake effect snow pick up starting tonight, and that will last through tomorrow. So here's a look at our snowfall map. It does look like it will stay mostly up north, especially in the Tug Hill region. But the Utica Rome area could also be seeing 1 inch to 3 inches of snow for the day tomorrow, and a trace to 1 inch is definitely possible for the southern valleys. But lake effect snow does look to pick up tonight, and that looks to last into very early Friday morning. So today we are seeing still some snow north, freezing rain south, some sleet as well. That looks to end this morning. It looks to end before noon. Then we will be cloudy, dry for the rest of the day. We will warm up, so the roads should be fine. Lake effect snow looks to pick up a little bit tonight, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley, and that looks to continue into tomorrow, a little bit into Friday morning, but ultimately we do dry out for cloudy skies for the rest of the day Friday, and into Saturday we see the sunshine. So for today, expect cloudy skies once we dry out this morning. Lake effect does look to pick up this evening, and I will be talking a little bit more about that coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning.
Welcome back. At this point, here are some snowfall totals from our sky watchers. Reports of heavy, wet snow, freezing rain, and sleet as well this morning. So we have Hartwick and Lawrence, that are West Lawrence in the southern valleys. They have 3 inches of snow, Westdale 2.5. Morris and Emerson, Cooperstown at 2 inches, Old Forge at 1 3/4, and New Hartford at 1.5 inches of snow this morning. But a lot of the sleet and the freezing rain is starting to wash away any snow accumulation. So just be careful when driving around this morning. Definitely still seeing a wintry mix at this point. Could cause some slippery conditions on the roadways. By the afternoon, we are going to be dry and we are going to warm up as well. So road conditions are going to be better. And same thing for tonight, but that's when lake effect snow, especially for people who live north of the Mohawk Valley, including the Boonville area, Old Forge area. We could be seeing some more lake effect snow starting tonight, and that looks to linger into tomorrow. So travel may be tricky once again for tomorrow. So we have put out the snowfall map, and once again, looking in the Utica Rome area, 1 to 3 inches can be expected. And this is for starting tonight for the whole day tomorrow. 3 to 6 inches in the north, and we could be seeing a lot more snow in the Tug Hill region due to this lake effect snow. Gary.
Thank you. New this morning, more than 1 billion young people.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out with a wintry mix this morning. It does look to end before noon, but we could be seeing some tricky travel issues, especially for the commute. So we do have our alert day still in effect this morning. There are going to be slick spots and icy spots for the commute because all of us started out with some snow. Then we saw some freezing rain and sleet that kind of created a slush and some ice in some areas. At this point, we are still seeing some snow north and freezing rain for the Mohawk Valley and south. So as you were heading out the door this morning, I would definitely get the car defroster ready or grab the ice scraper. Layer of snow on my windshield this morning with a layer of ice on top of that snow. As well as your coat, it is pretty chilly outside, seeing some precipitation as well. And I wore my snow boots this morning just in case, a little bit of slush on the ground. Maybe give yourself a little bit extra time to get out the door. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar this morning, still tracking some snow, freezing rain and sleet for the Mohawk Valley and south with more snow up north. This all looks to come to an end right before noon, and we will be seeing cloudy skies for the rest of the day. And this is all due to this low pressure system that did come out of the southwest, so it kind of brought in heavy and wet snow rather than that lake effect fluffy snow. So it's a little bit more dense and a little bit messier outside, especially for the commute. But lake effect snow is looking to pick up this evening. The National Weather Service has put a lake effect snow warning in effect for areas in the Tug Hill region and northern Oneida County. That goes into effect at 7 p.m. this evening and lasts until 2 a.m. on Friday. We still have this winter weather advisory in the purple as well. That's in effect until 10 a.m. for slippery road conditions for this morning's commute. So here's a look at the lake effect snow potential. It is looking like most of it is going to stay north in the Old Forge, Boonville area, 3 to 6 inches. Tug Hill region, even over 6 inches is possible, and 1 to 3 inches in the Utica Rome area with a trace to an inch for the rest of us in the Mohawk Valley and the southern valleys. And then once again, looks to start tonight through most of the day tomorrow was that snowfall map was for. So for the rest of this morning, we are going to continue to see some snow, some freezing rain, some sleet, so just a wintry mix. We look to dry out to mostly cloudy skies before noon, and we remain dry and cloudy for the rest of the day. We start to see lake effect rain pick up because it is going to be pretty warm. We will reach the low 40s for the high temperature. That picks up for the evening commute around 4 p.m., so slippery roadways are possible. Then that lake effect looks to pick up tonight. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow. We are starting to see that lake effect come in, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley. That looks to continue for tomorrow. So tomorrow around noon, still seeing some lake effect moving through, and that looks to continue into early Friday morning. So Friday morning, a little disturbance actually causes some more light snowfall for the area. Just about a trace is expected. And for the rest of the day Friday, we do dry out, seeing just a few lake effect light snow showers, light flurries, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. But then after that, we will be dry for the rest of Friday and dry for Saturday. So a couple of days of unsettled weather continues. We will dry out later this morning to cloudy skies, and then lake effect rain picks up first this evening, turning into lake effect snow overnight. Most of the accumulation is going to fall up north. We still have that Storm Tracker 2 alert day in effect this morning. This is due to tricky travel issues, and that lake effect picks up tomorrow, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley. A couple of inches are expected in the Mohawk Valley and a trace to an inch for south. That continues through Friday morning, but then we do dry out Friday later in the day and Saturday, Gary.
And those are some chilly temperatures.
I know. We're looking at overnight lows in the teens coming up this weekend.
Burr.
Burr.
Hannah, thanks. Well, whether you may... I'm Gary Libator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And I can't help but look over your shoulder at that radar. It is bright blue in some spots.
Yes, so all of us started out seeing snowfall, then we saw a mix with some freezing rain and sleet for the Mohawk Valley and south. Now at this point it looks like it's snowing for most of us again because I just went outside and checked and it's snowing here. But when we were driving it was freezing rain.
Yeah, those heavy blues though are up north, right?
Yes, they are up north. So let's take a look now at the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2, Doppler radar. At this point the heaviest of snow is up north. We are starting to see some more snowfall back again in the Mohawk Valley and south after we did see some mix come in, freezing rain and sleet. Looking like it is snowing a little bit. I just looked outside and it's starting to snow here once again. And this looks to come to an end before noon. We will be dry for the rest of the day with cloudy skies. And it looks like lake effect snow is going to pick up starting tonight, and that will last through most of the day tomorrow. So here's a look at our lake effect snow potential for all of tomorrow. It is looking like the Utica-Rome area could see 1 to 3 inches, a trace to an inch in the southern valleys, but the heaviest of it is going to be definitely up north and in the Tug Hill region, possibly seeing over 6 inches. So that is for tonight through most of the day tomorrow. But we are starting out with some snow here still this morning. We did see some freezing rain, some sleet, some mixed precipitation. Now most of us seeing some snow at this point. Could cause some tricky travel issues with slippery conditions on the roadways. But we do dry out today for cloudy skies with lake effect snow picking up later tonight, and that will last through tomorrow into very early Friday. We do look to dry out finally later in the day on Friday with sunshine returning Saturday. So for the rest of the day, expect cloudy skies once we clear out with lake effect picking up tonight for north of the Mohawk Valley. And I will be talking a little bit more about this coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Let's get right to it now. We've gotten calls.
Welcome back. We are going to continue to see a wintry mix this morning. It looks to end by noon, and then we will be dry for the rest of the day. But then lake effect looks to pick up tonight, and that lasts for most of the day tomorrow. So here's a look at the lake effect snow potential. It does look like most of the snow is going to fall north, so 3 to 6 inches for most of the North Country. Tug Hill region could be seeing over 6 inches, and the Utica-Rome area 1 to 3 inches, with the rest of us seeing just a trace to an inch. So it looks like this lake effect snow is going to be concentrated up in the north, coming into the Mohawk Valley just a little bit, but little accumulation is expected for the Mohawk Valley and south of the Mohawk Valley. But since we are seeing wintry mix this morning, roads are a little bit slushy and icy. We are going to continue to see snow starting at this point with lake effect snow tomorrow. I would definitely get your vehicle ready with the snow tires, the spare tire, with the ice scraper and the brush, and just be prepared for driving in any areas of bad weather. And speaking of winter weather, we do have our winter weather outlook put together by our meteorology team. That goes on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on CBS Utica, and then it also airs on Sunday, November 20th at noon on WKTV. Gary.
Looking forward to that for sure. Thank you. Turning to the latest developments out of
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out with some snow and a wintry mix still this morning, and that could cause for some slippery commute issues, so just be careful of that. We still have our alert day in effect this morning. So we do have this alert day in effect just through this morning. Definitely some slick spots for the commute because we did start out as snow last night. Some of us turned over to freezing rain and sleet that caused for some icy spots, and that is in areas in the Mohawk Valley and south of it. At this point, it is snowing up north. We did see some freezing rain and move through the Mohawk Valley and south, but at this point, it does look like most of us are seeing some snow once again. So just a wintry mix this morning. It does look to end before noon to cloudy skies. So as you're heading out the door, I would definitely grab the ice scraper, get the car defroster ready. On my windshield, when I went out the door this morning, it was snow covered with a layer of some ice, some sleet. Also, your coat, we are seeing some precipitation. It's pretty chilly outside. The snow boots, because most of the roadways are a little bit slushy. Maybe give yourself a little bit extra time to travel into wherever you are going. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, at this point, it looks like all of us have switched over to snow a little bit once again, but overall just a wintry mix, kind of messy this morning. This is all due to a low pressure system that came out of the southwest. So that brought in heavy, wet snow rather than that fluffy lake effect snow. So it did cause stuff to get just a little bit messy, a little bit slushy here this morning. So just be careful when driving on the roadways. Still some slick spots outside. We do look to start to warm up in the afternoon, so all that should be better by this afternoon and evening. But the National Weather Service has just put out a new warning. So on top of the winter weather advisory in the purple that is set through 10 a.m. just due to slippery morning commute conditions, they have put out a lake effect snow warning. That's in effect for northern Oneida County from 7 p.m. this evening until 2 a.m. on Friday. They're expecting heavy lake effect snow in this area and north of this area. So keep that in mind. Here's a look at our snowfall potential for lake effect. This starts tonight and this lasts through most of the day tomorrow. For most of the Mohawk Valley and south, just looking at a trace to an inch, but Utica-Rome area could be seeing 1 to 3 inches. And up north, definitely a lot more, 3 to 6 inches, and maybe a little bit over 6 inches in the Tug Hill area. So for the rest of the day, we will dry out. Still seeing some snow this morning. We will dry out before noon to cloudy skies. And then lake effect rain picks up at first. So this afternoon, turning into lake effect snow overnight for north of the Mohawk Valley. So we will continue to see lake effect snow for most of the day tomorrow, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. A little bit of some snow can be expected in the Mohawk Valley and south. But once again, most of it is concentrated up north. That will continue into Friday morning before we do dry out later in the day on Friday for cloudy skies. So for the rest of today, we will be cloudy once this clears out. And starting off with some lake effect rain because we are still pretty warm, and then it switches over to some lake effect snow tonight, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley. So we still have that Storm Tracker 2 alert day for this morning just due to slippery conditions on the roadways. Lake effect snow picks up tonight through most of the day tomorrow into early Friday. We do look to dry out for the rest of the day Friday into Saturday, Gary.
And get ready to bundle up too.
Yes, so it is going to get cold. Overnight lows over the weekend in the teens. Yes.
It's November. Hannah, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook.
Comes first. This is News Channel 2 at sunrise.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
It's almost as chilly in here as it is outside, isn't it?
Yes, the heat is not on in here.
It is chilly.
I'm getting sick over here. Well, let's take a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, most of us are seeing some snow. I did just look outside. We are seeing some snow here on top of Smith Hill. We did see a wintry mix overnight as well, but it is slippery to travel this morning. Just be careful for any slick spots, a lot of slush, and some ice outside. So we are seeing most snow north. We did see some freezing rain in the Mohawk Valley and south. Now starting to see some light snowfall once again. So just be careful when driving this morning. We will dry out before noon, but then lake effect snow looks to pick up again tonight, and that looks to last for most of the day tomorrow, but that looks to be mostly concentrated north of the Mohawk Valley. This looks to continue once again for tomorrow into very early Friday, but ultimately we do look to dry out later in the day Friday and for Saturday. So for the rest of the day, expect dry conditions to come in before noon. Then lake effect looks to pick up tonight, and I will be talking a little bit more about this lake effect snow coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. New this morning, a new
Welcome back. Here is some snowfall totals from our sky watchers thus far. We are looking at Hartwick and West Lawrence down south at 3 inches, Westdale 2.5, Morris, Emerson, Cooperstown at 2 inches, Old Forge at 1 3/4, and New Hartford at 1.5 inches of snow. This is from 5:30 a.m. this morning. At this point, still seeing a few light snow showers outside, as well as some freezing rain and some sleet. So if you are traveling at all anywhere this morning, I would especially be very careful. There are are slippery conditions on the roadways due to some slush, maybe possibly some ice. And by the afternoon, though, we are going to dry out. It is going to warm up a little bit, so stuff should kind of start to melt. We will be in the low 40s for the high temperature today. As for tonight, though, it does look like lake effect snow is going to pick up, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley, and that looks to continue for tomorrow. Some snow is expected from that, so keep that in mind if you do live up north and are traveling anywhere tonight and tomorrow. So here's a look at the snowfall forecast for that. It does look like most of the Mohawk Valley and south looking at a trace to an inch, with the Utica Rome area seeing 1 to 3 inches, a little bit more up in the north 3 to 6 inches, and in the Tug Hill area could be seeing a little bit over 6 inches due to this lake effect that's going to pick up tonight. Gary.
Hannah, thank you. New this morning, more than $1 billion.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are continuing our alert day this morning just due to commute conditions being slippery due to a mix that is going on right now. So right now this morning, we do have some slick spots for the morning commute, as well as some icy spots, some slushy spots, because we all started out as snow, turned over to freezing rain and sleet for the Mohawk Valley and south, and now back to some light snow showers. So could be seeing just a little bit of mix on those roadways this morning. Once again, snow is persisting up north like it has been all night, but we did see that mix with the freezing rain south and in the Mohawk Valley. So if you are heading out the door this morning, there may be just some visibility issues for Nala looking at her neighbors, Kitten and George this morning, but by the afternoon, we are going to be just a little bit better. So this morning, some slick spots, some slush, some ice on the roadways, so be careful of that. By the afternoon, we are going to be dry. Just some slippery roads are possible, and lake effect snow looks to pick up tonight for areas north of the Mohawk Valley. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar this morning, once again, the blue is the snow, the pink and purple is sleet and freezing rain, and the green is just rain in general. So we are just continuing to see a mix for some messy roadways this morning. And this is coming from a low pressure system from the southwest. That's bringing in heavy snow, wet snow, rather than that fluffy lake effect snow that's a little bit easier to shovel and drive on. This is bringing in heavy, wet, regular snow, so it is kind of creating a little bit of a mess outside on the roadways with some slush and some ice as well. Now, the National Weather Service still has that winter weather advisory in effect until 10 a.m. this morning for all of us, just due to slippery road conditions, but they've also just issued a lake effect snow warning for northern Oneida County, just due to heavy lake effect snow possible starting tonight through 2 a.m. Friday morning. So we are going to keep an eye out on that, and here is our lake effect snow potential map. We are looking at 1 to 3 inches in the Utica Rome area, just a trace to an inch for the rest of the Mohawk Valley and south, and a little bit more up north, especially in the Tug Hill region. So for the rest of the morning, we will continue to see just some snow showers, some wintry mix. We dry out before noon to cloudy skies, and it will get a little bit warmer with highs reaching the low 40s. So by this afternoon, we will start to see some lake effect rain possible, and that is because we are on the warmer side. That turns into lake effect snow tonight, and it does look to start to get heavy tomorrow morning. So here is lake effect snow tomorrow morning. It is persisting north of the Mohawk Valley, but still an inch or two is possible in the Utica Rome area with a trace further down south. That will continue for most of the day tomorrow into early Friday morning, and then we do look to start to dry out on Friday with cloudy skies. Still cool on Friday with the sun returning on Saturday. So as for the rest of today, we are still going to be seeing some snow. We look to dry out before noon, and then lake effect rain picks up later this evening, turning into lake effect snow, especially north of the Mohawk Valley tonight. So this morning is still a Storm Tracker 2 alert day due to some snow, some mixed precipitation causing for slippery road conditions. Lake effect snow picks up tonight through tomorrow and into Friday morning, Gary.
So very, very chilly temperatures overnight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes, we are going to be in the teens. That's the first time we've seen it this season.
Yeah, very chilly. Hannah, thanks. Well, whether you make them from scratch or buy.
From where the news comes first, this is News Channel 2 at 7 a.m. on CW11.
Good. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Hannah Evans.
And if you haven't been outside yet, it is a little slushy and very chilly.
Yes, so very cool to start. All of us are seeing some snow, well, snow up north, and then there's a mix everywhere else. So it is a little bit messy for the commute, but we are going to dry out for the afternoon.
And you can hear our engineer Bob Tomes out there.
He's towing, or not towing,
plowing.
He's plowing our driveway.
For the first time.
Yes, so let's take a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, it is mainly snow up north. We are still seeing some snow in the Mohawk Valley and south, but we did see a mix overnight of freezing rain and sleet. That kind of slushed things over. It made things a little bit slippery this morning for the commute, and keep that in mind. We will dry out around noon, maybe right before noon, and then it does look like lake effect snow will pick back up tonight, especially for areas north of the Mohawk Valley. So we are looking at a trace to an inch for most of the Mohawk Valley and south. 1 to 3 inches can be expected in the Rome Utica area, a little bit more for up north, and even more in the Tug Hill region. So that this map starts tonight and this lasts for most of the day tomorrow into early Friday. Then we will dry out for Friday. So we are seeing some snow north this morning, freezing rain, sleet, everywhere else, some snow mixed in there as well. It's just a wintry mix, make commute issues a little bit difficult. Lake effect snow does pick back up again tonight for north of the Mohawk Valley. Still possible to see a few inches in the Utica Rome area and a trace to an inch south. After that, it lingers a little bit into Friday morning, but then we do dry out for Friday and Saturday. So for the rest of the day, expect cloudy skies after we clear out this morning, and then lake effect picking up later on. I will be talking all about this in my full forecast coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. Let's get right to it now.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are tracking some snow and a wintry mix still outside this morning. May cause some slippery conditions on the roadways. So as you are heading out the door, I would definitely grab the ice scraper or get your car defrosted. We did see widespread snow last night, then some freezing rain and sleet came in for the Mohawk Valley and south. That kind of put a layer of over the snow, so definitely defrost the car, grab the ice scraper, as well as your coat. Very chilly to start. Your snow boots as well, seeing some slush on the roadways, and maybe give yourself a little bit extra time to travel. So here's a look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, it is starting to move out. We were seeing widespread snow earlier. Freezing rain and sleet move through for the Mohawk Valley and south. At this point, we are just seeing just a few light snow showers still lingering, but this will move out right before noon. We will be dry, and this is due to a low pressure system from the southwest. That's bringing in heavy and wet snow rather than that light fluffy snow from lake effect, so that's causing for some slush and messy conditions on the roadways this morning. So the National Weather Service still has that winter weather advisory in the purple. That's until 10 a.m. just for slippery conditions when driving. But they've also just issued a lake effect snow warning due to heavy lake effect snow expected. That's starting at 7 p.m. tonight till 2 a.m. Friday, and that's just for the areas in blue, so northern Oneida County for our case. We are expecting lake effect snow to pick up tonight and last through the morning on Friday. So here's a look at the lake effect snow potential. Utica Rome area, 1 to 3 inches can be expected starting tonight through all of tomorrow. We could be seeing more snow north of Utica Rome area and then even more in the Tug Hill region. But the rest of the Mohawk Valley and the Southern Valley is only looking at a trace to an inch. So once again, this goes into effect tonight, and this is through all of Thursday. So this morning we are still seeing some light snow showers. We do dry out right before noon. This is 10 a.m. Around or afternoon, we start to see some lake effect rain showers pick up because it is going to be pretty warm. We will be in the low 40s today for the high temperature, and then that turns into lake effect snow showers overnight into early tomorrow morning. So this is 6 a.m. tomorrow, seeing lake effect snow north of the Mohawk Valley at this point. It will continue to persist through Thursday, lingering a little bit into Friday morning before we ultimately do dry out for the day on Friday with cloudy skies. So for the rest of the day, expect a wintry mix this morning still, some light snow showers, lake effect rain later on, then lake effect snow tonight, especially for north of the Mohawk Valley. So we still have that alert day for slippery travel here this morning, so just be careful when driving. We dry out, lake effect snow picks up tonight for tomorrow through Friday.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good afternoon, everybody. At this point, we are dry and tracking cloudy skies. It is still a little bit chilly, and lake effect snow can be expected once again tonight through tomorrow. So let's take a look now at our Utica National Tower camera overlooking Main Street in Cooperstown. Cloudy skies, all the roads should be cleared out at this point. So if you are commuting anywhere for this afternoon, it should be fine for that. Nala can clearly see her neighbor at this point this morning. Some heavier snow bands probably reduce visibility just a little bit as I was driving in, just a little bit, but wet roadways should be fine though at this point. No more areas of slush or ice. And in the afternoon, the evening commute, lake effect rain starts off first, and then it does look to turn into lake effect snow. Today's cats featured are Kitten and George. If you do want to be a part of this, you can head over to my Facebook, post pictures of your cats on there. So here's our radar and satellite at this point. The low pressure system slowly moving out of our area. We are mostly dry right now, just seeing a few snow flurries, but at this point, mostly cloudy skies, still a little bit cooler. Temperatures are in the 30s, and lake effect rain does look to start tonight, which will turn into lake effect snow this evening, overnight, and through tomorrow. The National Weather Service has put out a lake effect snow warning. That starts at 7 p.m. this evening through 2 a.m. Friday morning. That's for northern Oneida County in our area. We also still have that winter weather advisory for Lewis, northern Herkimer County. That is still into effect at 7 p.m. this evening, just due to slippery road conditions. But our main concern now is going to be the new lake effect snow warning. Heavy lake effect snow is expected for some of us. So if you do live in the Tug Hill region and northern Oneida County, the Boonville area, you can honestly see up to half a foot to a foot of snow in this area. 3 to 6 inches can be expected in the Old Forge area, North Country, and down to the Rome area, and then 1 to 3 inches for the Utica area and the rest of the Mohawk Valley, with a trace to an inch in the southern valleys. This is going to be lake effect snow that does start to pick up this evening, overnight, and through most of the day tomorrow, looking to clear out early Friday morning. So let's take a look at that on our Skycast. Right now we are dry, seeing cloudy skies, still a little bit cool with temperatures in the 30s. Lake effect rain starts out first this afternoon. That does turn into lake effect snow as we get cold enough this evening, and that looks to last in the overnight hours, once again just in that region, northern Oneida County and up north. We are tracking lake effect snow to continue for most of the day tomorrow, with those winds blowing out of the west. So it does look to stay up there, with Utica area only receiving 1 to 3 inches and the southern valleys just receiving a trace to an inch. That looks to continue through early Friday morning. Once Friday morning comes around, we do look to start to dry out, and for most of the day on Friday, we are going to be dry. So for the rest of the day, we are going to be seeing everything come to an end, just cloudy skies. Highs are in the low 40s, so it does start out as lake effect rain at first, and then once we cool down, lake effect snow starts tonight for areas in the northern Oneida County and then north of the Mohawk Valley. So that lake effect snow looks to continue for most of the day tomorrow into early Friday morning. We dry out to cloudy skies Friday, with the sun making a return on Saturday. Gary.
Hannah, thank you. In a surprising bipartisan move, Democrats look at the weather in this half hour. Once again, here is meteorologist Hannah Evans.
At this point in the afternoon, we are dried out, just seeing cloudy skies, but it does look like lake effect snow is going to pick back up for tonight and tomorrow. So let's take a look now at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Once again, at this point, we are dry, tracking dry conditions, still a little bit chilly, temperatures in the 30s. And here's a look at some snowfall totals from this morning before some freezing rain and sleet. We had Point Rock at the highest at 4.1 inches, Hartwick and West Lawrence 3 inches, and New Hartford and Utica area at 1.5 inches. And once again, we are in the 30s. We will reach right near 40, the low 40s for the high temperature today. So it is going to warm up just a little bit. We have 36 degrees in Clinton and Cassville, 34 degrees in Otsego. So tonight it does start out as lake effect rain because it is going to be warm, but then overnight it is going to turn into snow, and this will linger into tomorrow. It does look like the heaviest of it is going to fall in the Tug Hill region and in northern Oneida County. Just be prepared for that. But Mohawk Valley and south look to get about 1 to 3 inches and a trace to an inch for the southern valleys. So for the rest of the afternoon, we are dry. We start out as lake effect rain, and then lake effect snow picks up tonight. I will be talking more about that coming up, Gary.
Hannah, thank you. At least 3 people.
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good afternoon, everybody. At this point, we are all dried out, just seeing cloudy skies, but lake effect snow looks to pick up tonight. Let's take a look now at our Utica National Tower camera overlooking Main Street in Cooperstown. Probably just some wet roadways, but everything should be dry and fine for traveling if you are going anywhere for the rest of the afternoon. But in the evening, we do start to see some lake effect rain come in because it is going to be above freezing, and then that turns into lake effect snow tonight. So here's a look at our radar and satellite at this point. Low pressure system slowly moving out. At this point, we are tracking dry conditions, but some winds are going to start to come out of the west, and that looks to produce a few lake effect snow showers tonight through most of the day tomorrow. The National Weather Service has put out a lake effect snow warning that starts at 7 p.m. this evening through 2 a.m. Friday, and that's just for northern Oneida County. We still have this winter weather advisory for Lewis County, northern Herkimer County until 7 p.m. this evening, just due to slippery road conditions. So here's a look at our lake effect snowfall forecast. It does look like just a trace to an inch for some of the Mohawk Valley and south, but as far down as to include Utica, 1 to 3 inches can be expected, and as far down as to include Rome, 3 to 6 inches can be expected, and our most amount of snow can be expected in northern Oneida County and the Tug Hill area. So this goes into effect tonight and lasts for all of the day tomorrow through tomorrow night. This is just due to lake effect snow starting to pick up due to the direction of the winds that are going to be coming from the west. And once again, it starts as rain tonight and then turns over to snow as we fall to around or below freezing. So let's take a look at that on the Skycast. For the rest of the afternoon, we are dry, mostly cloudy. We see some lake effect rain picking up, and then this is 6:30 p.m. starting to see it turn over to snow at this point, with lake effect snow continuing overnight, the heaviest of portions falling in northern Oneida County and the Tug Hill area. This looks to continue for all of the day tomorrow. All of us are going to be seeing some snow tomorrow, but once again, the heaviest up there, trace to an inch, can be expected for the southern valleys and including Utica, 1 to 3 inches through most of the day tomorrow. All of this looks to come to an end early Friday morning. So this looks to continue all tomorrow. Then this is 3:30 a.m. Friday morning, started to see it shift out. And then we will be dry for the day on Friday with just cloudy skies. So for the rest of today, we are going to be seeing cloudy skies. That mix from this morning came to an end. And we will start to see some lake effect rain pick up this afternoon. Tonight, though, that's when it switches over to lake effect snow as it does cool down. The heaviest of it falling in northern Oneida County and the Tug Hill region. So tomorrow we are expecting lake effect snow to continue for the day, and that looks to linger a little bit into Friday morning, but ultimately later in the day on Friday we do look to dry out to cloudy skies, with the sun returning on Saturday, but still remaining pretty chilly, Gary.
Ooh, feeling like the holidays, isn't it?
Yes, it is. With those overnight low temperatures in the teens.
Oh, definitely feels like December. Hannah, thanks. Well, elves are
Kristen Copeland.
I'm Jason Paulus. The Storm Tracker 2 team is tracking lake effect snow for tonight. That will continue into tomorrow.
As for today, we survived the first snowfall of the season. A couple of school delays, no closings that I know of. Depending on where you live, you may have had to brush a few inches off your car. The morning commute was messy and slick for some, and this is just the beginning. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking from the Weather Center.
Yeah, it was tough getting home from work last night,
Yeah,
but definitely we'll be seeing some changes in our weather. We're not going to see this widespread snow, but we will be seeing some lake effect snow as we get into tonight and tomorrow. And I think the bands will be generally across the North Country, but at times they will impact the Mohawk Valley. We'll have a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Right now we're seeing the beginnings of this lake effect develop, and you can see a few light snow showers across northern Oneida County and Lewis County, and even a few very light showers in Otsego County. That's from Lake Erie. Our snowfall totals overnight and into this morning ranged between 2 to 4 inches, most of us getting somewhere between about 2 to 3 inches. New Hartford and Utica picking up 1.5 inches of accumulation. Current temperature is 38 degrees as we get into this evening. Again, we will be tracking some snow showers. We will be seeing some slower travel from this lake effect that will be developing tonight and tomorrow. We're also tracking accumulation and some cold weather that will be sticking around. And look at that forecast coming up. Back over to you.
A Richfield Springs graduate is one of the minds taking us.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are tracking some lake effect snow that will be impacting parts of central New York tonight and tomorrow. Let's take a live look outside. This is our Cavity Tower cam. It is dark. It is 5:15. It's that time of the year. We are continuing to track lake effect snow bands that are in the process of developing. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We will see a few scattered snow showers this evening from time to time across the southern valleys at Seago, Chenango County. There's going to be a very narrow band from Lake Erie. That doesn't produce very much snowfall. The heavier band of snow is expected to develop off of Lake Ontario. This will be primarily north of the Mohawk Valley, and it will stay north of the Mohawk Valley at least tonight. As winds turn into the northwest, that band will bobble down to the Mohawk Valley from time to time. Local temperatures in the 30s, Dolgeville, Little Falls 35 degrees, Whitesboro 39, Westmoreland 40. So we did make it above freezing for most of the area today. Cooperstown 37, Skenevis, Hamilton, and Norwich checking in with 37 degrees. If you're taking the dog out for a walk this evening, we should stay above freezing, at least in the lower elevations. Temperatures will be in the mid-30s. We are going to have to be aware of the temperature very closely, because if we do drop below freezing, there could be some icy spots on area roadways and sidewalks. But again, I think the lower elevations, that's not going to be the case tonight. The hilltops could see a few icy spots. So you look at the radar and satellite image, it's all about lake effect as we move forward. Winds turn into the northwest, and we've got sufficiently cold air in place. Temperatures only stay in the 30s here for the next several days. And with that wind and those warm lakes, we will be talking about some lake effect snow tonight. The band generally organizes itself north of the valley tonight. The morning commute looks tricky across northern Oneida County, central Herkimer County. I think the band will be right about here at 8 a.m., so just on the fringe of the Mohawk Valley. Notice the southern valleys staying generally dry. Temperatures will be around 30 degrees at 8 a.m. The band is expected to drop southward as we head into the afternoon, but temperatures will also be above freezing. So there will be some lake effect snow bands in the valley to deal with here throughout Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, and then the band will lift back to the north as we head into Thursday night and stay to the north here for Friday, producing some very heavy snow in northern New York State. As far as accumulation goes, again, this is for tonight and tomorrow. We're looking at about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall in the Mohawk Valley, 3 to 6 inches of snow, Rome, Boonville, Old Forge, 6 to 12 inches across the Tug Hill region, northern Oneida County, and the southern Tug Hill, and a trace to an inch of snow south of the valley. Lake effect snow tonight down to 30. Tomorrow, snow showers. Temperatures in the upper 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Some snow showers on Friday, little accumulation there, at least locally, but that's going to be a different story in northern and western New York. And coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be taking a look at a very heavy lake effect snowfall event out towards Buffalo and Watertown.
The governor's office called a state of emergency
Just
out
now,
that
yeah.
way already.
Yeah, could be a big deal. Yeah.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you. An experimental treatment for Alzheimer's.
Beginning.
That's right. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis in the Weather Center now tracking lake effect snow for tonight. Bill, who's going to see what?
Well, I'm actually looking ahead here because this has been making a lot of attention, social media, national news, talking about a potential very heavy snowfall. This is for western New York. This is for Watertown. This is for Friday and into Friday night. Just want to show you what we're talking about here. Again, notice how we're completely out of this. As much as 1 to 2 feet, in some cases close to 3 feet of snow is possible in this time period. Again, this is for the Buffalo, Watertown regions with that lake effect band that is expected to turn to the north. Before it turns to the north, it does bring us some snow. It won't be quite that heavy, but we will be talking about some snow as we head into tonight as well as tomorrow in our local area, especially in and north of the Mohawk Valley. A reminder, our winter weather outlook is Thursday, 7 o'clock CBS Utica. If you can't get CBS Utica or if you're busy that time, it will rerun on Sunday on noon on WKTV. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're seeing some scattered lake effect snow showers out there this evening. That band will be developing tonight. Some scattered snow showers will be lingering in the area We're tracking accumulation locally for tonight and tomorrow, and look at how the morning and evening commute plays out, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The North Pole in Holland Patton got a nice...
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We continue to track more active winter weather. We saw widespread snow last night and this morning, and now we're going to be tracking lake effect snow. A lot more localized, but still having a pretty high impact where it is expected to fall. Let's take a live look outside our Utica National Tower Cam. We're looking Cooperstown. You can see the roads are wet. We managed to climb above freezing, and a good portion of that snow did end up melting today. We are still on the fringe of the winter season, and that's a reminder of that. Even though it's going to be cold here for the next several days, it's still hard to keep snow around this time of the year. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are tracking the next round of snow. This is lake effect snow. The band is going to organize itself across Lake Ontario along a west wind tonight. So accumulations look to be generally across northern Oneida County, Lewis County, and into central Herkimer County. A secondary band off of Erie will, from time to time, bring some snow showers and reduced visibility across the southern valleys, but accumulations south of the valley look to be generally light. Our sky watchers checking in from last night's snowfall, along with some current temperatures here, picking up 4 inches of snow in West Leiden, grade 2.5 inches of snow. Mike into Hartford, 1.5 inches of a very heavy snowfall. Skylar John checking in with 33 degrees. Across the southern valleys, Cooperstown 35, Frankfort 39, Cassville picking up 2 inches of snow last night and early today. The radar and satellite image shows lake effect snow will be the primary weather maker as cold air blows over the warm Great Lakes. And tonight, the band generally stays north of the Mohawk Valley. In fact, by 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning commute, that band should be causing some issues on the roadways, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. Reduced visibility, snowfall rates between about 1/2 inch to as much as 1 inch per hour here. And this band will turn into the valley. So during the day tomorrow, from time to time, the Mohawk Valley is expected to see some accumulating lake effect snow, but notice temperatures will be near or just above freezing, so that will slow the rate of accumulation on the roadways, but you can still plan on some tricky travel from time to time during the day tomorrow, and then the band will eventually lift back to the north as we head into Thursday night and Friday and produce some very heavy snow Friday up towards the Watertown region, and another band off of Lake Erie towards Buffalo. Some heavy snowfall again Friday and into Friday night. As far as our local totals are expecting a general 1 to 3 inches of snowfall in the Mohawk Valley. Most of that falls tomorrow during the daytime. Again, the band producing some heavier snow across northern Oneida County and southern Lewis County. I also wanted to mark one spot here too. Looking at some of the projections here, there's the most uncertainty to this forecast can be found right here. We have some disagreements as to how far south that band of snow will drop between our various computer models. So that would impact the forecast most here. Some locally higher totals are possible in that area. I just wanted to point that out. That would be across parts of the Mohawk Valley. Lake effect snow tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, we're looking at, again, lake effect snow, reduced visibility from time to time, temperatures in the upper 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Snow showers on Friday. Little accumulation is expected Friday. It's cold Saturday. And then that band of snow that will be to the north of us over the weekend will be dropping south Sunday night. So another round of snow is expected. And then we start to warm up. Temperatures in the 40s by Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Of the season, some areas seeing more snow than others, but tonight, Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis is tracking lake effect.
Oh, yeah, let's get you right over to the Weather Center with Bill, who is the latest on what you can expect throughout the night into tomorrow.
Yeah, that band of lake effect snow develops tonight, impacting the North Country, but then it turns south, and we will see the impacts of it here in the Mohawk Valley. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are looking at lake effect snow beginning to fall north of Rome, across the Tug Hill, Boonville, out towards Ohio. We're also seeing a few snow showers from Lake Erie surviving the trip across Otsego County. Some of the hilltops here getting a few snow showers. For the most part, the lake effect snow this evening not causing any big issues, but it is expected to develop and get a lot stronger here right before tomorrow morning's commute. Snowfall from last night and today, most areas picked up somewhere between 1.5 inches to 3 inches of snow. Did have a few locally higher amounts like Point Rock picking up 4 inches of snow. Current temperature is 36 degrees, and into this evening, again, some snow showers, temperatures in the 30s. We've got to look at the snowfall forecasts to expect for tonight as well as tomorrow, and that's coming up. Back over to you.
All right, new information in New York.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We continue to track winter weather here across central New York, at this time focused on lake effect snow, a lot more localized compared to the widespread snow that we saw last night in the wintry mix that we saw this morning. This is a live look outside, our Cooperstown camera, brought to you by Utica National. The roads are generally wet this evening, and just about all places climbed above freezing. We have to be careful this time of the year because as temperatures drop below freezing, there could be some icy spots. I expect that to happen for most areas late tonight, but it might happen sooner in some of the outlying areas. Again, just something to be aware of tonight. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are tracking a band of developing lake effect snow across northern Oneida County and southern Lewis County. This will continue to grow and move across the North Country tonight, and then it will start to settle southward as the winds turn into the northwest during the day tomorrow. There will also be some scattered snow showers across the southern valleys from Lake Erie. Our sky watchers checking in. Curtis Corners 32 degrees. West Leyden picking up 4 inches of snow from last night and early this morning. Mike in New Hartford 1.5 inches of snow. Cassville 2 inches of snow. Hartwick checking in with a temperature of 34 degrees. Cold weather continues to move over some very warm lakes, at least relatively warm lakes. We've had a very warm November, so the lakes are ready to go. We're expecting some pretty heavy lake effect snow tonight and actually over the next couple of days. The wind direction tonight favors the North Country for lake effect snow by 8 o'clock in the morning. And this is where I think the band of snow will be. It's just north of the Mohawk Valley. Winds turn into the northwest. So I'm expecting this band to drop southward, occasionally impacting the Mohawk Valley as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures will be right around freezing, so the snow having a hard time sticking on the roadways. But again, can't rule out some slippery spots here during the day tomorrow in the Mohawk Valley. The band is then expected to lift to the north, so the evening commute could feature a few slippery spots in the valley. But by the time we hit sunset, the band is expected to be north of the valley, and that's where it will continue to heading into Friday. Snowfall totals 6 to 12 inches for the Tug Hill, northern Oneida County, southern Lewis County, 3 to 6 inches Boonville, Old Forge, Rome, 1 to 3 inches for the Mohawk Valley, and a trace to 1 inch of snow across the southern valleys. Now, I do want to point out one area of uncertainty, or at least the least confident part of the forecast, is this area, including Rome, Utica, Little Falls. Getting some suggestions that that band may drop south sooner, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that. There could be some locally higher totals in that zone. Tonight, lake effect snow down to 30 tomorrow. Lake effect snow showers, temperatures in the upper 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Snow showers here on Friday. Little accumulation is expected locally Friday, but there will be some heavy snow in Buffalo and the Watertown region as the lake effect snow heads north. Saturday, a sunny, cold day. Temperatures in the low 30s. Snow returns on Sunday, 29, and then temperatures start to warm up. We'll be in the 40s as we look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Thank you for joining us for Snowfall. Honeymoon is over, right, Bill? Because lake effect snow now happening right over northern Oneida County.
Yeah, and this is going to be dropping south as we head into tonight, impacting your morning commute. Right now, the band isn't greatly organized, but it will be getting better organized as we head into tonight. Let's talk about lake effect. Remember, lake effect comes from the warm waters of Lake Ontario combined with cold air aloft. That is it. As long as you have a strong enough difference between the lake temperature and the air, you can generate lake effect snow. This is also, of course, wind driven. Now, we get a lot of lake effect snow here across upstate New York, and the season is really kicking underway. It's going to be kicking off with a big event here across western New York as we head into the next couple of days. Current temperature is 34 degrees. We are still near freezing, still above freezing at Griffis and Rome. Tonight, tracking lake effect snow showers, overnight lows around 30. We're taking a look at accumulations of lake effect snow, and that's coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Decision 2022 as the absentee ballot.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look outside. This is our Utica National Tower Cam overlooking Cooperstown. It is a chilly night, and we're also tracking some lake effect snow. The bands are currently situated just north of the Mohawk Valley this evening. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We'll zoom in and show you that just north of Utica, we're getting some snow that's taking place, even some rain being reported out of Griffis and Rome. Temperatures are right around freezing. Heading into tonight, more lake effect snow will be developing. We've got some cold air building in from the west, and winds will be moving in a west-northwesterly direction as we head into the next 24 hours. And again, plenty of energy in the atmosphere for lake effect snow. We've had quite a warm stretch of weather here in early November, and that's going to set the stage for some pretty heavy lake effect snow over the next couple of days. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. Lake effect snow looks to be just north of the Mohawk Valley at 8 o'clock in the morning, so this will likely impact your morning commute. Snowfall rates between about 1/2 inch to 1 inch per hour, and this will continue as we head into the afternoon. The bands will generally stay in and just north of the Mohawk Valley as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures will be around freezing, so the snow will have a hard time sticking to the roadways. But still, accumulating snow is a pretty good bet for a good portion of the New York State Thruway and parts to the north. Heading into tomorrow night, the band of snow is expected to lift to the north as winds turn into the southwest. And Friday, the weather is looking much quieter across our local area. The snowfall forecast calling for 1 to 3 inches of snow in the Mohawk Valley, 3 to 6 inches for Boonville to Old Forge, and along the Tug Hill. Could be talking about as much as 6 to 12 inches of snow. This is for tonight through tomorrow. And I did want to highlight this area here. This is one area that we're watching very closely. A possibility of this band going more to the south would lead to higher totals in that specific area. It's one of the spots we'll be watching closely. Also, too, wanted to make mention, looking ahead to Friday and Saturday, big headlines coming out of western and northern New York. This lake effect event looks to be a big one for those areas. Looks like Buffalo and Watertown could be measuring snow in feet as we head into Saturday. The bands of snow stay north and west of us during that time period. Lake effect snow tonight down to 30 degrees. Again, snow showers. Lake effect snow tomorrow, 37 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Few snow showers on Friday, little accumulation locally, 37. Cold this weekend, 34 Saturday, 29 on Sunday. Another chance for some snow Sunday, and then the weather starts to warm up. Temperatures in the 40s by Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us. I'm alongside Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. That snowfall honeymoon is over. We've got lake effect in our area just north of the Thruway.
Yeah, and these bands are going to continue to develop tonight, and we are going to be in the thick of it for about the next 24 hours. We can take a closer look here, and you can see that it's still falling as some rain in the lower elevations, but as some cooler air starts to work in tonight, things are going to be getting pretty slippery here. Let's go over some of the basics behind lake effect snow, since this will be our first event of the season. Lake effect snow is caused by the change in temperature between the warm waters of the Great Lakes and the cold air aloft, and we've had such warm weather here up until recently. The lakes are near record warm, and this cold air moving over the lakes produces precipitation. It's almost like a pot of boiling water when you have this big change in temperature, and it's all about the wind direction with lake effect snow. That's what drives the location of where it ends up being. And tonight, tomorrow, it looks like the Mohawk Valley and North Country will be favored with this lake effect snow. Current temperature 33 degrees. Rome has now switched over to some light snow, and we'll be tracking some light snow tonight. Overnight lows around 30. We're looking at snowfall accumulations across the area tonight and tomorrow. Look at that forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Decision 2020.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look outside. Our Utica National Tower Cam is overlooking Cooperstown. We saw a lot of melting snow today with temperatures dropping slightly below freezing tonight. It's possible we could see some slippery surfaces. Untreated surfaces could be slippery first thing tomorrow morning. That looks to be widespread across the area. Localized lake effects will be taking place tonight too. Here's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, it looks like the bands will be across northern Oneida County, the North Country, and right along the New York State Thruway. And you can see the next round of precipitation starting to develop just south of Oswego. Again, moving in the direction of the Mohawk Valley. So we'll continue to watch and track lake effect snow tonight as well as tomorrow. And the lakes are ready to go. We've got a big area of cold air. The wind direction favors, again, areas in and north of the Mohawk Valley, and you can see plenty of lake effect snow to the west. This looks to be a long duration lake effect event across upstate New York. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight, the bands develop, and we're expecting a snowy morning commute for those of you living along the New York State Thruway and points north. We're looking at some steady snowfall. Snowfall rates tomorrow morning, ½ inch to 1 inch per hour. The band of snow generally sets up and stays in the Mohawk Valley and just north of the valley throughout the day tomorrow. It'll meander throughout the day, so expect some big changes in the weather. Sunshine 1 minute, heavy snow the next minute. I think it's going to be one of those days. The snow will have a hard time sticking to the roadways too, with temperatures expected to be just slightly above freezing. Tomorrow night, still looking at some snow in the Mohawk Valley, but then this band will lift to the north as winds turn into the southwest as we get into tomorrow night and Friday. As far as snowfall accumulation goes, the Mohawk Valley picking up about 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, 3 to 6 inches north of the valley, 6 to 12 inches along the Tug Hill. And I do want to point out, there's the greatest question marks in this forecast goes in this particular area here. This would include Utica and the Mohawk Valley with the southern placement of that band of heavy snowfall. So that area, I just wanted to highlight, we could see some localized higher amounts as we head into tomorrow. Looking ahead, Friday, just a few snow showers in the forecast locally, but some very heavy lake effect snow in western and northern New York. This could be a historic event just based on the way things are unfolding here. But as far as our local weather is concerned, we will stay out of that again for Friday night and Saturday. Lake effect snow tonight down to 30. Tomorrow, lake effect snow showers in the Mohawk Valley. Again, look for some slippery roads, some poor visibility from time to time. Temperatures in the upper 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Just a few snow showers Friday. Little accumulation locally, 37. Saturday, we're dry, 34. Lake effect snow returns Sunday, 29. Some light at the end of the tunnel. We're above freezing. We're into the 40s looking ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, kind of shocking if it would stick around cold this long.
Yeah,
usually there's a
little early for that. Usually we get some relief.
I want to talk about this too, Bill. There's an important note. There's a commercial truck ban that's going to take place on the Thruway beginning at 4 o'clock Thursday. It's going to be I-90 between exit 46 and exit 61 because of that snow out towards Buffalo, so be ready. Coming up next, hitting the